Hello, everybody. My name is Mishel Wolf, and welcome to a yin restorative wall practice. While I do love vinyasa, and I do teach a couple of vinyasa classes every week here at Ceremony, I really love restorative and yin, and I've kind of combined those two practices together for several reasons. First of all, traditional yin, we don't use props. And traditional yin is for very healthy bodies that are in excellent alignment. And today, with a lot of stress and movement and people really pushing their bodies beyond what is sometimes optimal, many of us have injury, or because of stress, especially right now, right? Our bodies are in this constant fight or flight mode. And so I really love the restorative aspect because it is for bodies that need restoration, hence the name. So restorative is excellent, especially in the summertime, because in the summer, as things get warmer, even though right now everybody's kind of staying inside, we feel this energy and this need to move. So restorative classes really help bring us back inside and to cool us down when there's a lot of heat. We always want to have balance, right? So in the winter time, we need to have a little bit more heat, a little bit more vinyasa. Summertime, we want to have a little bit more cooling. But in general, times are a little crazy and a lot of people are feeling a lot of anxiety right now. And so I wanted to bring this very grounding practice that you can do on a wall at home. You don't have to have a lot of space. I will show a lot of modifications today. And I purposely use the wall with the pipe because you can see you can do this even if your wall is not 100% perfect. I do this in front of a door sometimes because I don't have a lot of free wall space at home. So I'll offer the modifications, just take it to where your body can, and enjoy. So from here, let's just find your comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed, grow tall in the spine. Draw your shoulders up toward your ears, back and down. Draw the chin parallel to the floor and lift through the back of the crown. Take a big inhalation and exhale, sigh it out of your mouth. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. So close the mouth. Keep breathing here. Maybe taking the internal gaze to the third eye, right here. Or you can always take your internal gaze as if you were looking at the tip of your nose. Take 3 more full rounds of breath here. And then gently open the eyes. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, look up, be gentle with your neck. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, just honoring your body, honoring your practice, honoring where you are right now in this moment. One more round of breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Release the hands, open the eyes. We're going to come into our first posture. So we're going to come into the legs up the wall. And the easiest way to do this is you get as close to the wall as you can. And then without kicking anything in front of you, just shimmy around, shift up. So how close you are to the wall is really going to depend on how open your hamstrings are. So if this feels easy, you can keep a little space between you and the wall, or lift the hips and just gently shimmy as close to the wall as you can. Press the tailbone down. So you're actually going to have a little small arch in your low back. That's your natural arch at the base of your spine. And from here, just allow the hands to go wherever is comfortable. You can bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. They can come out to the side. You decide. This is really about you, your practice, and honoring your body. So first, let's flex the toes as if we're flexing them, trying to get them to touch our face. And then release. Flex the toes. And then release. 2 more times. Flex. And release. Flex. And release. From here, take the feet to wherever is comfortable. Close down your eyes. And just begin to breathe. This is one of the most restorative postures in all of yoga. Not only does it calm down the nervous system, it allows the lymphatic fluid, which is the cellular waste, to drain out of the legs. We spend all day standing or sitting, our feet and our legs are holding us up through life, and things can pool up in our legs. Anybody that's ever had swollen ankles, if you've been pregnant or have water retention, this is excellent to allow that to drain down. And keep breathing. So I don't always do a lot of talking during these restorative or yin practices because it's really about bringing the connection to your breath and your body. So I'm going to talk a little bit now just while we're in these postures, the first couple, so I can kind of explain the principles behind what we're doing today. So I will always come back and remind you to breathe. So in yin or restorative, we have 3 main principles. The first, we have the posture. So we pick a posture, we get in the posture that's going to best serve what we're doing today. So in this case today, I'm picking more restorative postures. The second part, or the second principle of these practices, is the breath. So it's really about coming into the breath, following your inhalations and your exhalations. A couple of things happen when we're in these postures. Either the body tries to escape and we want to wiggle and we want to fidget, and that's okay in the beginning, get it out. But we really want to find stillness, because in stillness is when the body begins to release. And using the breath to assist in the release. So wherever you're feeling tension or tightness or stiffness, or if you feel a little stuck or sticky, as you breathe, send the breath to those places. So perhaps as you inhale, you fill up, and then as you exhale, you imagine that breath going to the place. Or perhaps as you inhale, you send the breath down into wherever you're feeling it. And as you exhale, you're releasing and letting whatever was stuck out of your breath. So you decide what works best for you. So the second thing that usually happens while we're holding the posture, while we're doing the breath and making this connection, so you either fidget or your mind begins to wander. So it's always important to come back. It's okay when your mind wanders. You just acknowledge wherever it is. You look at it, and like a friend that you don't want to talk to right now, you say, I love you. Thank you for showing up, but not right now. Just to be real. And so the third principle of these practices is time. So it takes our body and the muscles approximately 2 minutes before they release the tension when they're in a pose. And so we hold these restorative or yin postures on average for 3 to 6 minutes. And that way we allow time for the body to settle in, time for the body to open, and time to be able to make this breath-body connection, to be able to go through the whole process, because it is a big process. It feels really easy, and then with time it gets harder. We get distracted, we lose our breath, and then we're able to come back to the breath, to send everything in, to open up, to allow the releasing before we're finished with the posture. And then we come out and it feels really good. So continue to breathe here. We're going to stay here for about 1 more minute. Dropping in. Following the breath. And take 3 more full rounds of breath here. Filling up completely. And then releasing, always going with your own breath. Feeling the belly and the rib cage expand. And then contract. And then after that third exhalation, we're going to flex the toes and then open up the legs. So we're going to open up the legs like a book, and you're going to take this to wherever you can in your body and wherever you can with the space that you have today. So maybe it's just to here today, or maybe you can open up a little bit wider, making sure not to hit anything, knock anything over, like my clock here. So just opening up to wherever your body feels comfortable. At any point, If this begins to feel like a little bit too much, you take the hands on the outside of the thighs and assist them to close just a little bit. Otherwise, you allow gravity to just take over. Allow your body to open up without force. Maybe you take the hands to the inside of the legs or to where the legs meet the pelvis, our little crease here. And maybe you press in to bring length to the low back. Keep pressing the tailbone into the mat wherever you are. And breathe. Notice if your mind has drifted off anywhere. Bring it back to the breath. Always making that breath and body connection. Again, hands are wherever it feels comfortable for you. Just allowing for opening. If you find it difficult and your mind's starting to wander a little bit too much, you can always bring back to that connection by maybe giving your inner thighs a little massage, opening the muscles. Well, your muscles are already opening, but assisting in the opening and lengthening. Sending the breath to where you feel it. Again, recognizing that energy flows to wherever your attention goes, right? So if you bring your focus to the breath and make that connection to where you feel it in your body, that is where the breath will go. That is where you will find the opening, create the length, and create the space. And allowing yourself to find some softness. And then just breathing. Noticing where your energy is right now. No judgment, just becoming the observer. And checking in, just noticing if you've opened any, or if this is getting difficult. Again, remember you can use your hands on the outside of your legs to assist them to close. So one thing that I should mention that I didn't mention at the beginning, it's so important that in this practice we never experience numbness, tingling, or pain. Those are the body's responses telling you that something is wrong. You're either pinching a nerve or something is going on that's not okay. So if you feel that, gently come out of the pose or don't go as deeply. Whatever someone said to us in the past, and I know we've all heard it. We've heard the expression that no pain, no gain. That is a lie. So take 3 more rounds of breath here. Breathing as deeply as you can. And then take the hands on the outside of the legs and then gently assist the legs to close, coming straight back up. And we'll stay here again for another couple of minutes. Just allowing the body to release from what can be a really big inner thigh opener. And so I hesitate to tell you where you're going to feel it because every body is different. I always say in my classes, you're going to feel it where you need to feel it. So maybe I feel something in my calves, which is my body. So most people, when they say, oh, this is a hamstring stretch, I don't feel it in my hamstrings. I feel it in my calves because that's where I hold the majority of the tension in my legs. So throughout this practice, wherever you feel it, that's wherever you feel it. It's not wrong. This practice is very forgiving. All right, we're going to come into our next shape. So from here, we have a couple of options. Again, this is going to depend on your body and how open it is. For most people, we're going to need to bend the knees, lift the hips, and shimmy back an inch or two to give ourselves some space. Wherever you are, starting with the legs up the wall, we're going to take the left leg and cross the left knee over the ankle. It's really important to keep this left foot flexed to protect the knee joint here. And then we're going to bend the right knee, bringing the knee down to wherever is comfortable. So this is a figure 4 on the wall. And again, if this is too much, you have a couple of options. You can either keep the leg a little straight. If you need more, you can bring the foot down even further or come closer to the wall or further away. Kind of play around with it. We're looking for the Goldilocks position. So we don't want there to be no sensation, but we don't want there to be too much sensation because we are holding. So from here, you can just simply release, allowing yourself to feel into this. It is important here to keep the tailbone pressing down towards the floor. We don't want to come up because then we're putting a little bit too much pressure on the back and not necessarily getting the full benefits of the posture. So again, just come into your breath, find where it is in your body that's holding on, and send that breath and let yourself open. So you can either stay here, you can gently take the hand on the inside of the knee, pressing that open, or just release. So again, find what you need and breathe. And as we sit here, notice if your mind begins to wander, bring it back to where you are. Bring it back to the body. If your foot has gotten relaxed, re-engage. The knee is a hinge joint. It is not a ball and socket. So by flexing the foot, we engage the muscles that help keep the knee in place. So if you're finding this difficult, and this is not as a distraction, but more as a means of self-care, you can maybe choose to give yourself a little foot massage, right? Squeezing the toes, squeezing the foot. But don't forget the breath. And as one of our instructors here used to say, just know that aside from getting a really nice foot massage, the only other thing that's going to happen by doing this is that your hands are going to smell like your feet. So we're all quarantined in our houses. So you can go wash your hands, no big deal. No matter what we're doing, we got to keep things light. Find a way to smile, have gratitude, come back to our hearts, and take the time to nurture us, to nurture ourselves. And as your body begins to open, if this gets easy, you can always choose to walk the foot down. If it gets too difficult, feel free to release a little bit, but always come back. Check back in with your tailbone. See if you can draw it down. And breathe. We'll stay here for about 1 more minute. And take 3 full rounds of breath. And then gently release that leg. Bring it up the wall. Bring both feet up the wall. Shake it out if you need to. And then pause just for a moment. So we're allowing blood to come back in, blood to flow, sensation to normalize. Because when we get into these postures, it's kind of like what happens like when you're pressing on your fingertip and all of the blood comes to the fingertip or it starts to change color. Well, it's coming out of the fingertip. We're not letting it flow. And then you release it and it all comes back in. So you'll notice some sensations coming up in the legs. And then just observing, how does your left leg feel now, your left hip in comparison to your right? So even though we're asking, we're just observing. We're not attaching any judgment, any good or bad or anything to that. We're just noticing. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the right foot, flex the foot, and cross the ankle over the knee. And then draw the opposite foot down, bending the knee, and coming into our figure 4 on this side. So it's going to feel different. This is going to depend on how open your hips are, what else is going on in your body. And so again, adjusting, decide, do you need to shimmy closer to the wall or further away? Or do you just need to extend the foot up the wall a little bit more? So our bodies are not symmetrical in any way. And then if you have injury or anything else going on, or if your spine is not in alignment, you're going to notice the differences. And so again, it's really important not to put a judgment on it. Because a lot of that just turns into a limiting belief, right? So I might say, oh, well, my right side is not as open as my left side. I have injury. I have all of these things. And that is just a story. And if I attach too strongly to that story, well, then I limit myself and I limit my body's capability of doing what it can do naturally. when I broke my elbow several years ago, I shattered it and I have metal in there forever. And before I had the surgery and after, the doctor told me that I would never have the same amount of mobility in my left elbow as I did in my right elbow anymore. He said it just wasn't possible and very, very, very unlikely and rare that happens because of the intensity of the injury that I had. And I knew better. I understood mind over matter. And I understood the concept of not attaching to even what somebody else was telling me. So don't forget to breathe, even as I talk. Keep that foot flexed. And I remind you because sometimes I forget too. And so, right, it's normal. So anyways, I talked to the doctor and I was very frank and said, you know, you do your job and I'll do mine. Because I know what I can do and I know that I have the capability to heal. And I did. I did my physical therapy. I did all of the exercises. As soon as I could start doing yoga, I did yoga again. And I have more mobility and flexibility now in my left elbow than I do in my right, because I put so much energy into healing that and into the belief that I would have that mobility in that elbow. And so anything is possible. All of our beliefs, the thoughts that we have are so powerful. What energy do you want to put in? So do you want to put energy into negative thoughts, fears, or beliefs that can be very limiting? Or do you want to put your energy into faith and opening and belief in yourself, in others, and in your ability to heal physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that? So re-engage, connect back to that tailbone. If you've lost that, connect back to your breath. You know, right now, we're in a period where I'm sure many of you can feel that there is a lot of fear and anxiety out there, and I understand. I really do. But can we shift, even for a few moments, into a different vibration, a different frequency? Can we shift from fear into love? Can we shift from the focus of what we don't have or what we're afraid of into a focus of being grateful for what we do have? Can we take this time while we are distancing from the outside world and connect to the inside world? Can we connect more closely with our family and the people that are in our immediate lives? There are so many opportunities to find the silver lining. So we're almost there. Take 3 more full rounds of breath. And then release that leg, both legs up the wall, allowing the blood to come back in. Shake it out if that feels good. Point and flex the toes, maybe roll the ankles. And pause. Can we come back to our internal world? All right, for our next posture, I'm going to give 2 variations. So you can pick whichever one works best for you, play with them both, and then pick one and decide which one you want, stay with it. So option 1, again, choosing to get closer or further away from the wall as you need. Option 1, we'll bring the soles of our feet together, bring them down to wherever is comfortable, and let the knees open to the side. So this is a wall butterfly. You can even kind of flap your wings a little here to assist in opening with the hips. And you even have the option of taking the feet a little higher depending on where you are. So choosing to stay here, or we're going to bring the soles of the feet to the floor, open the feet out so that the knees and the toes are going in the same direction, and then pressing the tailbone into the mat. So this is a variation of a yogic squat of malasana, but using the wall. And you can bring in the feet as close to you as possible or that is comfortable. Remember that we're going to be holding this for several minutes. So make sure this is sustainable. You can, if you're in malasana, you can always take the inside of the knees with the elbows and gently open if that feels okay. Or just allow the arms to rest. In this posture in particular, we are pressing against the digestive organs. So things might start moving. So again, staying here or here, you pick which one. If you're here, you can still always press on the inside thighs and assist the opening. Wherever you are, breathe and come inside. As we're in these hip openers, maybe emotions are coming up. Maybe nothing is coming up, but as we have these thoughts that come in, notice the thoughts, observe the thoughts. What are they around? Especially in these hip openers, the pelvic bowl, this area in our body is where we store our emotion. And so if you are particularly tight or stuck in this area, sometimes emotions start to come up. And it's a beautiful opportunity to begin to get curious about the feelings that come up. So when I first started doing yin, I would be in these postures and I would find myself getting really angry. And I had the opportunity, because I was sitting here for so long, to begin to ask myself, why was I angry? Was I angry at my body? Was I angry with something that happened in my day? What was it? And then begin to get curious about the result of that question and go deeper. Because oftentimes what is on the surface, we know the expression, right? And we say, oh, this is very superficial, or a person is very superficial. So we know that what is on the surface of the water, of the ocean, of the conversation, whatever it is rarely what is at the root. So if we dive deep, looking at what is under the anger, what is under the sadness or the frustration or the fear, where does that come from? What is the root of that? When's the first time we felt that way? Does it come from a limiting belief? And where did this belief come from? And so we have these practices in yoga, in breath work, where sitting in the stillness, we actually have the time to look below the surface. Because how many of us actually really want to go there? So we keep busy and we run around and there's always something to do. And many times that busyness, it's not even real. It's keeping us distracted from our internal world. And again, I believe our internal world reflects out to our external world. You know, and for a long time now, I keep hearing people say, I'm tired, I just need a break, I'm too stressed out, I don't have this, I don't have that. Like, I want more, I just want to be able to relax, I just want to be able to calm down. And isn't it funny that, well, maybe funny is not the word, but isn't it interesting? To me, it is that right now, collectively, most of us are being forced to slow down, to stay at home, to go inside. We're being asked to distance from the external world. And I don't think that that's a coincidence. And so we can stay inside, you know, we can stay distracted. We can watch television, we can, you know, clean the house or organize. And I'm not saying that those are bad things, but we also have this opportunity to sit in quiet, to read books, to take naps. We have the opportunity to go hike, to go walk the dog, to just sit outside and observe nature. So there's so much we can be doing with this time. We can tap into our creativity. You know, for a long time I said, you know, I wish I just had time to do this or that or the other. And my last year has been about creating the space for me to do those things. And of course, I still get wrapped up in the distractions, but it's getting easier to come inside and to do those practices, because when I'm creative, when I'm doing what I love, not only does that feed my soul, but it provides the space for me to really look deeply at the purpose of my distractions. What are they taking me away from? What do I need to heal from? And so I invite you to maybe consider doing that in the next few days or weeks, years. And be curious about what that looks like for you. So take 3 more breaths here, wherever you are. Maybe letting it go out of the mouth. Letting any tension that you're holding on to go. And then assist the legs to straighten up the wall one last time. And just breathe here for a few more moments. Can you soften? And so now I'm going to give you the option. You can choose to stay here for your final Shavasana. This is a really nurturing place to be. But if you're done being on the wall, I invite you to bring the knees into the chest. Roll over on to one of your sides. Pause on your side for a moment. Don't get up immediately. We're going to kind of gradually rise. And then gently push yourself up. And we'll come over onto our mat to lie all the way down for our final Shavasana. So just gently coming all the way down to the mat, unless you're staying on the wall. And from here, if you're in a final Shavasana, you have a couple of options. You can, if you have a pillow or something, you can place the pillow under your knees. That might feel good. Or just stretch the legs out towards the corners of your mat. Rolling one shoulder blade under and then the other. Let the arms open out to the side. Close down the eyes. Take a big breath in and hold at the top. Hold it in for as long as you can. And then exhale. Release it all out. Letting the body release fully into the mat. Feeling the skin soften. Feeling the muscles soften and release. Feeling the bones soften and release. Feeling the mind soften and release. So begin to deepen your breath, just bringing your awareness back. Feeling the breath like a wave moving through your body. And just feeling this wave before doing anything else. And then deepen your breath even more to begin to make a connection with your body. Moving the breath all the way down to your fingers and your toes. Allowing the breath to bring life back into your form. Making the small movements that you need to begin to wake yourself up. And gradually allowing your movements to increase in size, maybe rolling your wrists and your ankles, maybe shaking your head side to side. And whenever you're ready, take a full body stretch as if you were waking up for the very first time today. And then sweep the arms around, bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice big squeeze. And then with the eyes still closed, roll over onto one of your sides. Your right side is more energetic. Your left side is more relaxing, more restorative. You choose using your intuition and pause on your side for just a moment in the seed position. And I invite you in this moment, in this space, to find something that you are grateful for right now. And bring that gratitude into your heart as you rise up to a seat with your eyes closed or soft. Maybe placing the hands on your heart, feeling that gratitude. Letting it fill up your entire body with the breath. Inhaling, letting that feeling deepen. And exhaling it, letting it spread. And then inhale into this feeling of gratitude. And exhale, send it out of your heart center to your surroundings. Do that again. Inhale into that gratitude. Exhale, let it touch everything around you right now. And then inhale into that gratitude. Exhale, let it expand to everything in your town or your city, to everyone. Again, inhale, fill it up. Exhale it out of your heart, emanating to your whole town. Inhale, fill it up. Exhale, let it spread from your town to your state, to the whole country, wherever you are. Again, inhale, fill it up. exhale, expand this field from your heart to your town, your state, your country. Inhale, fill it up. Expand it now to the rest of the world. Seeing this wave of gratitude fill up, keep inhaling it in. Keep exhaling, surrounding the whole globe. Take 3 more rounds. Filling up. Sending it out. Last one. Send it as wide as you can. And then we'll bring the hands to prayer position at the center of the heart space, bowing the chin down into chest. Take the thumbs to your third eye center, honoring the connection between our heart and our intuition. May all beings be happy and free, and may my actions in some way contribute to that happiness and freedom. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, share this video, hit the notification bell, and follow us on ceremonyhealing.com or on Insta and Facebook. We love you.